Hey, it's Joe, and welcome back to Humanfluence. You want to know how to challenge a belief system that's withstood 2,000 years? Look at the way the world now twists its symbols, mocks its meanings, and glorifies the very forces it once stood against. Across art, culture, and the biggest stages on earth, we're seeing a new narrative. A deliberate revival of ancient ideals, a glorification of primal forces, a complete inversion of what was once held sacred. This isn't just a shift in culture or a new trend in entertainment. Some would see it as an assault on a worldview that shaped Western civilization for millennia. And the message? It couldn't be clearer. This is a new age, and the faith that defines so much of our past is being pushed aside. To rattle the core of a Christian, hijack their symbols and parade them for a global audience. Take the 2024 Paris Olympics, for example. On the surface, it looked like a celebration of unity, sport, and international cooperation. But look closer, and you'll see layers of symbolic mockery. A representation of the horse of Revelation rode onto the stage, an unmistakable reference to the apocalypse, while a scene mirroring the Last Supper played out. Only in place of Christ was an exaggerated, almost character-like figure, surrounded by symbols that twisted the holy into the grotesque. But the Olympics are only the beginning. From award shows to music festivals, pagan symbols have taken center stage, with ceremonies designed to echo ancient rites. At the Grammy Awards, it's become a regular spectacle to see performers dressed as deities or surrounded by serpents, fire, and crosses turned upside down. A reimagining of Christian symbolism to celebrate chaos, indulgence, and individualism. Even in massive music festivals like Coachella or Lollapalooza, we see ritualistic themes emerge, performers clad in pagan-inspired costumes, surrounded by pyres, torches, and massive effigies, transforming these events into modern-day bacchanals, echoing ancient Dionysian festivals that celebrated excess, madness, and the rebellion of the soul. This isn't about nostalgia for ancient mythology. It's about resurrecting ancient gods and giving them new life as icons of modern values. We see this in blockbuster movies where gods like Thor and Zeus are portrayed as powerful and relatable figures, competing with or even outshining religious narratives. The Marvel and DC universes are filled with characters based on ancient deities, turning the gods of Norse, Greek, and Egyptian myth into action heroes worshipped by millions, while the Christian narrative fades into the background. Architecture itself has become a nod to ancient mysticism. In Silicon Valley, headquarters of powerful tech companies feature sacred geometry and symbolism in their designs. Pyramids, Vescopiscus windows, labyrinths that mirror pagan ritual paths. Google's new headquarters incorporates structures resembling ziggurats, nodding to Babylonian and Sumerian architecture. A blend of modern technology and ancient mysticism that glorifies human achievement over divine grace. And this revival of pagan ideals is anything but subtle. Take the 2022 Commonwealth Games. A massive, ominous bull took center stage, a chilling callback to the ancient gods Baal and Moloch. The bull, a symbol of strength, fertility, and sacrifice in ancient paganism, has become a prominent icon in public ceremonies, embodying a world that reveres primal power over humility, indulgence over restraint. For centuries, Christianity repurposed pagan symbols and festivals, transforming them into something sacred. Christmas became the celebration of Christ's birth, drawing from the light and rebirth of Saturnalia and Yule. Easter, with its eggs and rabbits, echoes ancient spring festivals, but today we're seeing the opposite, a return to pagan roots, where the sacred is stripped away and the ancient gods are revered again, not in temples, but in stadiums, music festivals, and corporate logos. Burning Man has become the ultimate celebration of modern paganism. The entire festival centers around the burning of a massive effigy, echoing the myth of Prometheus, the Titan who defied Zeus by giving humanity the fire of knowledge. In this desert ritual, fire isn't just an element, it's a symbol of rebellion, destruction, and renewal. Attendees create and destroy elaborate art installations, mirroring the cyclical nature of ancient pagan festivals that celebrated creation and annihilation as two sides of the same force. And then there's Halloween. What began as a pagan festival honoring the spirits of the dead has been commercialized. Yes, but with a dark twist. Horror movies, costumes that glorify the macabre, and symbols of witchcraft and demonology make Halloween a festival of fear, celebrating the underworld and death. This isn't the innocent holiday it once was, it's a public spectacle where the line between honoring the dead and glorifying darkness blurs. This resurgence isn't limited to paganism. Gnostic themes are re-emerging too. At the heart of Gnosticism is the belief that the material world is flawed, that salvation comes through secret knowledge, and that rebellion against a tyrannical creator brings enlightenment. Today we see this played out everywhere. The image of Lucifer as a bringer of light, the allure of hidden truths and conspiracy theories, the rise of self-worship, echoes of Gnostic beliefs repackaged for modern consumption. Look again at the Dionysian figure at the Paris Olympics. Standing in as a grotesque, Christ-like replacement, mocking not just the symbols but the very essence of Christian salvation. In place of sacrifice, it celebrates excess. In place of order, chaos. It's not a subtle rebellion, it's a spectacle. It's a deliberate choice to elevate chaos, indulgence, and personal empowerment over humility, sacrifice, and redemption. Beyond these public spectacles, neo-paganism seeps into everyday life through pop culture and self-help philosophies. Tarot cards, crystals, and astrology are experiencing a renaissance, being marketed as tools for personal empowerment and connection to the universe. Self-help gurus encourage us to channel the goddess or the warrior within, resurrecting archetypes of ancient gods to guide us in a way that replaces the Christian values of humility and grace with ideals of power and autonomy. Symbols of witchcraft have become fashion statements, with pentagrams, crescent moons, and occult symbols appearing on everything from jewelry to high fashion. The pentacle, once feared as a symbol of demonic forces, is now a common sight on clothing, part of an aesthetic that romanticizes the mysterious and the dark, the hidden knowledge that lies beyond the visible world. Friedrich Nietzsche once declared, "God is dead," foreseeing a time when society would abandon the moral compass provided by religious belief. Without a divine order, he argued, humanity was free to create its own meaning. But with that freedom came the responsibility to rise above conventional morality. Today, Nietzsche's prophecy is unfolding right before us. In public ceremonies, in global entertainment, in the architecture of power, we see a celebration of humanity's will to dominate over morality, over nature, even over divine order. The ideals of Nietzsche's Übermensch, the self-determined individual who creates their own values, have become cultural icons. The pagan spirit of self-deification is back, not hidden in rituals but out in the open, urging society to prioritize chaos over order, indulgence over restraint, and human achievement over divine grace. The question is, where does this leave Christianity? As society shifts its focus to the glorification of the self, to the worship of chaos and indulgence, Christian values are becoming increasingly marginalized. Faith in a higher power and redemption and humility is being replaced with a worldview way far off. In this new era, we're seeing the return of a worldview that places man, not God, at the center of the universe. And as the influence of paganism and Gnosticism grows, Christianity finds itself not just in opposition, but in direct confrontation with a culture that no longer sees value in its teachings. The sacred symbols are inverted, the ancient gods revived, and humanity stands at a crossroads between the values of humility and submission and those of self-worship and chaos. This isn't just a clash of beliefs, it's a transformation of society. The values that once grounded us are being replaced by a primal urge to rise, to rebel, to become gods unto ourselves. And the question we face is simple. In a world increasingly devoted to the ideals of power, indulgence, and chaos, what place remains for the sacred? Humanfluence out.